Hi there. This is about as close to real as I'm willing to get tonight, as far as being a talking head. I'm doing this video to share something. Um, it's 12:28 supposedly, even though it's the middle of the night on 12:27, it's past midnight. So I just finished listening to a video where Cliff High, who's the Webbot genius, was being interviewed um, by the Webbot forum people. And it was really good. It was really intense. I've listened to a number of these, not a lot, but maybe three or four. And I just feel good enough about this one that I want to share it with you. Um, Uh, it would be nice if everyone knew about the Webbot, but no doubt there's some who don't. I don't know that I'm qualified to try to sum it up, but it's using linguistics, using crawlers or spiders, I guess, on the web, programs that he's written to capture language in massive doses, massive amounts, and fish in the data for predictive correlations and indicators with what happens. I truly have not studied this in any depth, so I can't give you that depth. If you want it, you'll have to go fish for yourself. But the guy is very talented in what he does. He's following his particular bliss, and I believe he brings a certain level of just the right kind of genius to it, that I think it's worth it for people to give it a listen. Now, he's looking at 2012 and looking at the future. That's what the whole Webbot thing is to study the past in order to find the correlations so that you can go mine the data currently and, predict what's ahead. One of the things I find interesting about the data, you may have heard there have been other instances where there's kind of a wall when you get to 2012. There are psychics that can't get past it. What are those guys called who leave their bodies and go search for info, and they're black ops types? Oh, it won't come to me now. But they can't get past 2012. The Montauk Project, they came to like a wall of light that they didn't get beyond, and it just blissed them all out, and they just, they're stopped, they're blocked, and no one really knows why. And there are all kinds of ideas out there that are nothing but that, ideas. Um, this guy's angle on things by using linguistics is pretty fascinating. And the data itself is really fascinating going ahead. He's finding that there are some major shifts in 2012, only they're mostly not waiting for the end of the year. There's something that seems to be starting in March, between March and June. There's just really a major set of changes upcoming. So even though I'm not much into this pinning things on dates and so on, even though, I want to share this just because everybody's got a right to know. If there's some data out there and it's good for anything, everybody's got a right to run it through their own intuition. So in the transcript, I'll give you the link to this interview. Now, I want to make some suggestions. One of the things that Cliff saw was something correlated with the sun. Now, we know it's supposed to be a major sun cycle and so on and so forth. And there are those that are worried that there's going to be something major with the sun and it's going to destroy the earth. I'm totally not into any kind of disaster predictions, all right? I just see the whole lot of that stuff as the attempt to generate fear. And I'm even feeling some of it in my gut now. And I really don't see that it's mine. So I think I'm probably tuning into some people that just to hold this discussion stimulates fear. And if that's you, I would suggest please look at that. The place to be outside of fear is in your heart. And it's an easy enough place to go, easy enough thing to do. And then you can observe it, but you'll have some distance from it. You'll carve yourself out some breathing room to stay in heart. Now, he's seeing something correlated with the sun, and he doesn't know what, but he postulates the potential for something, some kind of sun sickness, where people will just be stopped on the sidewalk, not exactly drooling, but not exactly with it either, not fully aware of where they are or fully capable of interacting. And so. I've spoken about, and I'm not the only one, the Andromedans have even spoken about 3D imploding, and that's their word. The dimensions coming together, merging. And so potentially people will be seeing more ghosts and things. The Andromedans predicted in the mid 90s this thing with those, oh gosh, now I've lost another word. They're like a line of light that zips through the air, and it's not orbs, but it's a light phenomena that was not present back then. But the Andromedans said that it would be happening, and they actually gave the name of it. Maybe it'll come to me before I'm finished. And so there's potential for major changes. Well, that's kind of a duh, right? I mean, haven't we been having all this talk for a long time now about ascension symptoms and all kinds of things related to shifting, making the shift into higher density or dimension? All right, so just for fun, let's say that maybe we do have some of these kind of things literally within 6 months from now, right around the corner, more or less. How are we going to handle that? And of course, my suggestion, I mean, I don't even have to say it. I'm sure it's playing in your head or in your heart already, is be in heart and follow your joy. I think it's a really good time to be weeding the garden of belief that we have inside of us. Get out any and everything that stirs or stimulates fear. Start looking at it now, because you see, when there's some kind of phenomenon going on, that is not the time to be doing this. The time to be doing this is now, so that you're in much better shape when the people around you might start to kind of get a little ditzy or go off the deep end or something. You can be the stabilizing factor there. You can be ready for this. One thing that I happen to think is really important is to let go of reliance on mind. Let go of thinking that we need to understand what's happening when it's happening. We don't. We honestly don't. At the point in time when we need to understand, we will. The understanding will either come to us out of the ethers, from our heart, from a book, from a video. We understand when we need to. We don't need to go dysfunctional just because something is happening that we don't understand. So this is a call to march into heart. Let's put a little intensity behind it. Let's pretend maybe we've got something around the corner, and maybe it's in our best interests to be in heart to greet it. Heart, there is absolutely no fear. It's not possible. It can't make it through the door. And heart could care less about whether something is understood or not. Heart is that portal or place or space or whatever you want to call it that is in touch with the reality that you know and you understand everything on some level. It's not going to be consciously accessible to you all the time. There's not room in the conscious mind for all that we know. We've got it, but it's at deeper levels of our being, and it will come forward when it needs to. And heart is just so aware of that and so totally at peace with it. And if you're upset or uncomfortable now, I want you to go into your heart and I want you to visualize that you're making an arc, which is a portion of a circle. From your heart, let the arc kind of go up and out and straight to my heart. I want you to make that contact, make that connection, and I want you to feel the peace. Because it's you. There's nothing here that's not there. We're all one. And there's no time like the present to connect up. And to connect up at the highest level that we can. I mean, it's not linear like high and low and that kind of thing, but you know, we're using words and we do the best that we can with them. I think as a community, we're getting really good at not getting stuck in the words, and I can tell by the comments that you leave on my videos. People, except people that come from the blue out there and have never seen one of my videos and walk into one of these recent ones where I'm really not bothering to worry about people being in mind and having to gently walk them along into heart. I'm just coming from where I am now. And, you know, I get accused of all kinds of things, including having a fantastically huge ego to just go on and on like this. And it's like, what can I say? I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying that the small community that we have here that share the comment thread on my videos, there's a tremendous depth of understanding. I meet you in heart and I feel you when you comment. You know, your energy is there. We're touching bases all of the time with one another's energy. We're just not used to being aware of it, but you're doing it too all of the time. We're all totally psychic and we're all totally connected and tuned in. It's just that it's been programmed out of us. We have been programmed to be unaware of this, to not believe it exists, to not know it exists, and to believe that we're some kind of trash that's destroying the planet and that's really worthless and, you know, the next thing to apes. So there are a few beliefs to get rid of, huh? It just came to me. Now, Teresa, if she'd had a chance to do this instead of just letting spirit flow through, definitely would not be making this video now. She wanted to sleep on it. That's been her way. And so maybe I'm trying to walk my talk here and be willing to make the changes, be willing to get a delightful, tickly kind of sense of urgency, only it's not a fear urgency, it's a fun urgency. It's a joy, it's a delight, it's an oh my goodness, what's just around the corner kind of urgency. And how can I be at my very best so that when I meet it, it takes me up with it. The people that are going to crash and burn are the people that are in mind. And there's a part of me that's sorry for saying it so plainly, but that's how I'm calling it. It's those that are in mind. It's those that are neurotic about needing to understand everything. And if it doesn't make perfect sense, and if it's not replicable in science, then they want no part of it. Well, God bless them, God love them, and that's fine. You know, if that's their way, that's fine. But that way, I think, is going to get mighty uncomfortable going forward, because I feel like the shift and the change is so big that we're not necessarily going to understand. And that's no problem to heart. I live without a lot of understanding, and I've been put down for it. And okay, I recognize that. Okay, I think it would be really nice to have mental understanding of things. I don't. And I won't leave heart for an instant to go after it, because I know heart is capable of delivering that to me. Now, we have brain cells in our gut as well as our head. We have a heart that produces neurotransmitters, which are brain chemicals. We have a brain that is distributed throughout the biology, at least throughout the torso and the head. So we need to get out of the head, in my opinion. Get into the body, get into the heart, get into the gut. There's a lot of Eastern philosophy that says the place where you want to center and focus is the solar plexus. That is much better than the head. So I wanted to offer these ideas. Oh, and there's something, if you go ahead, it's a long interview. If you go ahead and listen to the interview, one of the things that you're going to hear is discussion of, see, there's a report that Cliff puts out, but I think that there's a charge for it. It's like $10. He gives all the interviews and everything free, but in order to support his work, and there's a charge for the reports, and I'm not getting them. I haven't ever seen one. But, you know, and then he'll do an interview to discuss the report. I get enough out of the interviews that I can hardly sort through it. I don't think I need any more data. Thank you very much. One of the things about the current data is that he sees, and don't trust my words, you know, I'm doing this on the fly here. I haven't gone back and listened to it twice. I haven't slept on it, nothing. But I think what they're saying is there's a massive narrowing down, a diminution, less language, less words, less verbal or written expression. I think he says it goes down to like 1%, and he can't quite figure it out. And they were postulating all kinds of ideas of what could account for that. And I went back into the video. It's broken up into 12 or 13 pieces, or 11, something like that. I went back in and I left a comment on the appropriate piece, and I said, hey, you guys have these various ideas about what it could be and all, but try this one on. What if it's because we all suddenly become 100% telepathic? What if it's nothing bad or terrible at all? What if we don't need to use words anymore? Wouldn't that be lovely? I refuse to see a bad, nasty, awful future for Gaia, my friends. And I hope there's a bunch of you with me that are in peaceful non-compliance with the fear-mongering. Somebody called it fear porn. I totally agree. It is despicable trying to get us to be in fear. It cuts us off from our higher self, from our heart, from our intuition, from everything. And so let's really get to working on the fear. Work it out. Work through it. As long as we keep running away from it, it will keep chasing us. We magnetize what we fear. That's the physics behind it. The fear pulls it in. Now, I'm saying that the fear is there for a reason. It has a message. And so, as uncomfortable as it is, I'm learning that when I sit with it and I just feel it and I just allow it to exist and just be with it, I learn and grow. I learn something. Self-awareness, self-knowledge, there's nothing more precious, especially now. And so each and every bit of fear that we have, there's something special in it for us. We may find that it's not even our fear when you go to sit with it, and especially if you found your way into heart, you may find that you're tuning in psychically to something. There's a lot of stuff going on the earth right now, and we're all linked up. We're all connected. You're another me out there. It's these eyes through which I hope to see God are the eyes through which God sees me. You're me. I'm you. And the ones getting bombed or whatever's happening to anybody anywhere, that's happening to us. Now, sure, a lot of it is filtered out. The conscious mind needs to filter out a lot of stuff, or we wouldn't be functional, and that's a well duh. Okay? But we've got to know that on some level, we're feeling that. And that's what we're discovering, isn't it? As we're sharing through the comments and everything, nothing's personal. It's not personal. If I'm feeling it, chances are oh so good that a lot of other people are too. And it's a joint thing we're going through. We are one and we're reuniting, we're reconnecting. That's what the Carl Kalaman's estimate of the Mayan calendar at the end stages was a time of unity, a time of coming back together. We were driven apart, and brother was set against brother. Divide and conquer was the way of it. Well, we're on the reverse track to that now, and that's not the reality now. Unity and coming together and recognizing our oneness. I look into your eyes and I see me. I look into your heart and I see God. And you were mirrors for that. And we're coming into our oneness. And this is an awesome, excellent time for this to be happening. So I'm not going to say let's stay ahead of the curve. We are ahead of the curve in our waking up. We are the ones that will act as the stabilizer bars on the crazy careening car that's headed off into the future, whatever it holds. We are the light beings that are the conduits for our star brethren and the angels and the galaxy to anchor light in the earth to help her stabilize for what she's doing. And I've already gone on a little bit long, so I'm going to cut this off and put the link with it. And it's early in the morning here now, but I will get this up tomorrow. And so God bless us, each and every one. Good day.